All right, God bless you all. So peace and blessings to you all. Let me turn this music down. It's a little bit loud. All right, I think that should be good. Let me know if you can hear me good in the chat. Just go ahead and type one for me. That'll help me out. I'm trying to adjust the sound levels, and I want to make sure that I'm not obstructing my own information I'm trying to put out. Right, so I'm sure there's some latency issues y'all are behind. So I'm just go ahead and start talking. Right, so first of all, thank you for joining me. By the way, this is only cranberry juice. There's nothing mixed with it. I don't get down like that over here, but I know some people do and claim to be Christian, and that's okay. But this is pure cranberry, right? So basically, I want to talk about what's new and upcoming, right? So what's new and upcoming? Basically, I want to bring you all behind the scenes, right? So there's a lot of stuff I do that's not on camera. A lot of discussions I have with people that's not on camera. And it has a lot to do with faith and practice and how do you do that in the government, right, or in any type of position where the state is involved, right? So I'm not sure how much interaction any of you all have, and I'll be interested in the comments if you go ahead and write that down. But interaction in terms of people who operate in government positions or politics or things like that, and some of the nuances of it. How to work in that space, and what it means, right? How does one do it consistently, biblically, and glorify God? All right. So, and the reason why I ask these questions is because, a lot of what we believe, or I'll say it like this, individual salvation has been pushed for so long that we don't know how to do how to exercise our faith in the public square, right? What does the Bible have to say about that? What does that look like when we enter those spaces? Should we intentionally enter these spaces, right? And I want to cover some of the topics as to how there is no such thing as neutral space, right? So everything is trying to communicate an idea or a mindset or an affection, and how culture does that in any given part of what we call society. How do we enter into those spaces with deliberate intention to live the gospel out, right? And I don't think we devote enough time to thinking about that. And so those are some things I'm going to take you behind the scenes. So I've invested in some equipment, nothing major, right? So I got this gimbal here. I'm going to be taking it around, showing you, things that I can show you as to what it's like to be on a military base, what Christianity organized on a military installation can look like, and basically how those things play out. Shawnee Miller, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. She said that's good. Definitely need these conversations. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it's something I'm really passionate about, and I'm going to share my experience as to how I ended up joining the military, what that process entailed, and how I basically make it every day. And so it's a real conversation I think isn't had often enough, in particular with those who work in areas of government, regardless of the branch or your duties and responsibilities. But what do you go into that mindset thinking about, and how do we approach that? So, like I said, I have the gimbal there. I'm gonna have this camera. About that, I just have it mounted on a tripod, but it's going to be taken out more. I want to look at some things. So, what I have coming up is I'm going to be going on a marriage retreat. Okay, and the Army hosts these things called strong bonds. They're very generalized approaches to things, but I'm going to be going on a marriage retreat, and I'm going to show you all the area and things like that. I might do a couple live streams, but I'm definitely going to do some recordings, and you all are going to get to meet the missus for the first time. Some of you who have been around a while with me have seen her in the past, and for all those former Sunday seminary and maybe some current ones that are subscribed, y'all have met her. Shawnee says, thank you for your service, bro. Hey, I appreciate it. And it's an honor to serve God in this capacity. But that brings me to some interesting points of view. I'm going to talk about the challenge of Christianity in the military in South Korea, right? Some of the language barriers, the military's approach to spirituality. All right, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. Hey, what's going on? Interesting. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about that. The type of people I interact with all the time, right? There's a lot. I encounter people from all walks of life, and I know there might be some of you who have come from that experience or know people that have. And I don't think anybody's done a good job of surveying or mapping out the spirituality where the government is concerned, right? That's something I'm going to dig into, and I've spent a lot of time looking through it and talking about when you enter into spaces that have doctrines and beliefs and things like that, dealing with their presuppositions and their approach to ethics. How does anyone who believes in God work those two out? How to identify these things with real discernment and things like that. It's extremely lacking, and it's sad to see how many people I see that their first encounter with Christianity is in a pluralist environment, and one that's authoritarian in nature, as it should be, but also dealing with other issues where the mind is trained. And if you really want to deal with microcosms, macrocosms, the smaller unit of the bigger unit, once you he says how old are you, my brother? And the Google Classroom session you have running is good. So I am 32 years old. Usually people are surprised when I said that. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, the Google Classroom is coming along. It's coming along. But I'm 32 years old. I'm going to cover a little bit of my family life as well, and what it's like to raise children, and the detriment that not taking care of your children, because I have two who I've taken on since they were 2 years old and 10 months. They're now 14 and 12, right? But the consequences of absentee fathers, and what the effects of that has, and my journey in that process, and some of the challenges and that I've had to face, and having one natural born daughter, and trying to reconcile those things. It's really important. So basically, like I said, I've been trying to restructure this channel for a while. What it's going to go to is, this is going to be kind of where I bring everything I do together, and how it's working. Shawnee Miller says, I guessed 30s, early 30s. Your family is on base with you as well. So actually I live off the installation, right? So I'm about 20 minutes approximately from the installation. Well, no, they don't live on the installation with me. They are here with me. All my kids, we got a house and stuff like that. So they are here. Said I'm 37, so I understand. Yeah, it's a man. That's not the kind. I'm getting old. It doesn't feel like it, but if you know anyone in the military, your body age is different. It ages different. So yeah, it's a little bit rough. But yeah, I want to cover a lot of different things to kind of center everything. As me as the individual, and how I approach these different things, and kind of balloon outwards, and kind of like a concentric circle approach. Start with me and how I interact with all these different perspectives, or these different interactions. It's going to be a lot, but I want to start with me as the individual and work my way out. I'm just kind of show y'all where the struggle really is. One of these days, I'm going to have the wife on, and we're going to give our testimony, and, what it's like parenting, and, her from single motherhood and adjusting to that, and me from nothing and adjusting to that, and what that's like. So yeah, there's a lot coming up. So this weekend, I'm going to be doing some videos. I got a few interviews I'm going to be doing. I just did in a previous interview. If you haven't had a chance to check it out on my other page, it's the BereanReformation Ministries, right? So I did an interview with Dr. Stephen Wellum on progressive covenantalism, working through the covenants, and how that plays out. So there's a lot of different things I'm going to be covering. I'll be having another page that I deal specifically with military stuff, and what that looks like, how to work through those things, and what the military life is like. So, and with that being said, it's going to be a lot. So, that's pretty much it. Unless anyone has any questions. It says, I have a slightly different worldview. However, I like your approach a lot, and I respect it, so I'll follow you. Hey, so we got to get on the talk. So, I followed you for a while. Yeah, so Yeah, it would be interesting, and to get your walk on the or your perspective on the Hebrew mindset, and the Hebrew worldview, the Israelite worldview, and how that works, and for you. So yeah, and we can set it up, man. We're gonna talk about it anytime. I'm gonna go through those, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to answer. I'm not gonna make this video too long. I tend to talk a lot, so I'm trying to limit that. But if anyone has any questions they want to ask me about anything, just go ahead and let me know. And I'll try and answer it now. See. Yeah, man, of course. I don't know anybody who doesn't know you. Yeah. Yeah. There's it's just to be clear, I've been peeping at a lot of things for a long time. With a lot of people, and I watch a lot of different things. So like I'm pretty into John Walton, into the a lot of those things, man. So the funny thing is, and I posted it in my Patreon. I told people that no, it wasn't on my Patreon. No, it was. I posted a picture of me when I was in my almost became a Hebrew Israelite. Almost became one. So I had the video or the picture of me with the prayer show on. It was funny. Right. So he said, "Why do you choose that name for your channel? What inspired it?" Semper Reformata. So I was going to take. So it's a typo, but I had to do it that way, right? So it's a deliberate typo. So Semper Reformanda means always reforming, right? So it's a Latin way of saying that. So I tend to take a Reformation theology approach, but I think it's insufficient to adopt it in that snapshot of time, right? Yeah, so John Walton is your guy. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I'm gonna take that in the sense that I'm always reforming, and always changing, and that there's no particular time where I'll hold the same view simply because I want to avoid other things. So always changing, always conforming to the image of Christ, right? That's my goal. That's my goal. So however that looks in the end, is how it will look. So I try to allow God to do the shaping as much as possible. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, we can talk. Definitely have to talk. Divine Prospect, aka Ron Shields. Yep. I'm very much in tune with what's happening. Like I've been watching things for a long time. But yeah, man, we can chop it up sometime. But yeah, is there any other questions? This is in alignment with your progressive covenants and perspective. Let's see. You know what, man? Let's do an impromptu. So I am gonna post this link down there. And if you want to ask me questions, you could feel free to. I'm gonna do that. And unless you'd rather just type, we can do the typing thing. But I'll definitely, I'm definitely willing to talk. It's no pressure. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I know you like engagement, so I'll post it and then we'll see what happens. In particular, because I want to make sure that I understand this question. Let's see. So I guess one. Let me see real quick. So he called in. Go right there real quick. What's going on, Divine Prospect? What's going on, brother?
Peace and blessings, my brother. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'll say this, man. I was cruising through some videos, and one of yours came up as a suggestion, maybe about 4 months ago. I think
I can only imagine which one that was.
Yeah, I mean, it was several of them. I mean, I like your approach. You seem very down to earth, easy to talk to, very knowledgeable in regards to your worldview. And I like when brothers are coming out and have a different perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? It's very refreshing. And it's something that I can get behind, right? And support. So that's why I said, my brother, anytime you want to come on my platform and get interviewed, I'm more than happy to do that and expose you to the larger community, because there's both Christians, Israelites, and other that follow me. And whenever you're ready, and definitely just have a discussion. I don't want it to be a debate, you know what I'm saying? Because I really like the content that you have. So I believe that people should see that perspective and consider it, right? And I think I can ask you some good questions to get you to really dive into it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm always down for that. The only challenge, which is not really a challenge at all, but is the time difference. So what time is it there?
So
it is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I was saying. Good light. I thought it was daytime.
Yeah. Now I have some key lights and stuff like that I use. But yeah, I'm really faking it right now. It is definitely 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty flexible, so just let me know. What time works for you, what day works for you. There's no rush. You're trying to get more things off the ground and get things established as far as what you're doing with your channel. If you need anything, just let me know. Any resources or anything like that, let me know. Because I definitely want to support what you're doing. I know you have a Patreon. I just found that out maybe a week ago. So I'll probably sign up for your Patreon as well. But if you need anything, just let me know. I believe in what you're doing, and I want to make sure that if I can support it, then I will.
Okay. Appreciate that. Yeah. I did have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
You asked me a question, and I wanted to make sure I answered it correctly. So you asked me, you said in alignment with your progressive covenantalism perspective, correct? And so what was that in response to? Because I wanted to make sure I answered it correctly.
Yeah, that was in response to the name of the channel, right? What you were alluding to, continuously reforming and.
Yeah, so there's no connection between those two. Progressive covenantalism is actually a view that holds that the main narrative of Scripture is through covenants, right? So, so anytime
like New Covenant theology, similar to New Covenant theology,
it is actually quite similar, but it puts more of an emphasis on the covenants of the Old Testament and how they unfold. Rather than just making that law of Christ, law of Moses distinction, it takes all the covenants into account and sees Christ as the fulfillment of that, and then goes from there. But it doesn't ignore the Old Testament law.
I mean, I've read Dr. Peter J. Williams' work on that. Because I bumped into a few people, at least 3 or 4, who hold that position, and I had to go back and research because it was new to me. Like, I know about New Covenant theology and dispensationalism, which it has elements of both, And I had to say, well, I never heard that term before. And then
Yeah.
somebody recommended me to read Dr. Peter J. Welland's work. I didn't even know you spoke with him on a show. I got to go watch that. That sounds very intriguing.
Yeah. I just said, just to be clear, and I know you didn't mean to, but you mixed up names. So there's Peter Gentry, and then Stephen Welland.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because they both their names are on the book together.
Yeah.
So
I got you. I got you. Yeah. So all I pretty much do on my channel, brother, is I just so I give people the tools, right? So I give them the tools to work through it, and whatever position you come up with is what you do. But at least you have the tools, and so people are working on the same playing field. Like, hey, when someone says this, we're all looking at the same stuff. We got the same resources. It's almost from the concept is when Moses basically said, that he longs for the day when all Israel can hear the word of God. So in reference to the 70 elders and the spirit that fell on them, and he's like, I wish that all would have it. And so giving people that access to it, and letting them work through those issues on their own.
Awesome. Sounds good. So I don't want to take up your time, my brother. I'm glad. Thank you for inviting me on, and give me an opportunity to speak with you. And like I said, if you need anything, I'm here. What I can do is give you my email address if you don't already have it. You have a pen and paper, I can give it to you real quick.
Yeah.
You just shoot me a quick email and we can exchange resources or whatever the case may be and go from there.
Yeah. Here, just go ahead. I'm ready for it.
All right. It's Kingdom Harbinger, HARBINGER @gmail.com.
All right, cool.
All right, King. So I appreciate your time, my brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
I appreciate you too.
I'm gonna continue to support your channel. I'm gonna sign up for the Patreon. I'll put the word out so people are aware on the groups and stuff that I am on social media. And look forward to whatever else you have in store for your channel, man. Keep it up. And this is from somebody again that has a slightly different perspective on things, but I respect your approach because it's kind of like almost similar to mine. You can tell people, hey, this is my stance. However, here's the tools that you can utilize to see what conclusion you come to, and then pray and let the Holy Spirit lead you in the direction in which the Most High wants you to go. So much love and respect, my brother.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, King.
All right, bless. All right, so that was Divine Prospect. It's a great dude. We'll definitely chop it up and we'll go some back and forth, just in correspondence to see what we can set up. But with that being said, I am going to call it a morning because it's 1:06 a.m. But yeah, go ahead and do this. Again, I appreciate you all. Continue to watch. There's a lot more coming out. Again, just stay tuned. All right. Other than that, God bless. Appreciate you all.